Hi, my name is Adam. Last Friday, I was driving my car on the highway. The road was clear and the weather was nice. Suddenly, I heard a strange sound. I stopped the car and got out. I looked at the tire and guess what? It was flat. I had a flat tire in the middle of the road. I didn't know what to do at first. I took a deep breath and said, "Okay, Adam, stay calm." I moved the car slowly to the side of the road, turned on the emergency lights, and looked again at the flat tire. I didn't have much experience, so I decided to call someone for help. I opened my phone and called my friend Omar. He is good with cars. I said, "Hey Omar, I have a flat tire. Can you help me?" He laughed and said, "Of course, I'm coming now." While waiting, I took out the spare tire and the tools from the trunk. I looked at the jack, the wrench, and the tire. I read the instructions on how to change a tire, but I was still a little nervous. After 15 minutes, Omar arrived. He looked at the flat tire and smiled. "No problem," he said. "Let's fix it." Omar showed me step by step. First, we used the jack to lift the car. Then, we used the wrench to remove the nuts. Finally, we changed the flat tire with the spare. I was learning while he was working. It was my first time changing a tire, and I felt happy to learn. While Omar was tightening the nuts on the new tire, I asked, "How do you know all this?" He said, "I learned it from YouTube and practice. It's not hard." We started talking and laughing. I told him, "Next time I will do it alone." He said, "Good, but don't forget your tools next time." After finishing, we put the flat tire and all the tools back in the trunk. I looked at the car and smiled. It was ready to go again. Then we washed our hands and drank some cold water. I said, "Thank you, Omar. You are a great friend." He replied, "No problem, anytime." That day, I learned many words: tire, flat tire, wrench, nuts, jack, spare, trunk, and more. I used them many times, and now I remember them well. When I got home, I told my brother about the flat tire. He asked, "What did you do?" I said proudly, "I changed it." "Well, Omar helped me." I showed him the tools we used, the wrench, the jack, and the spare tire. He said, "Now you're ready for any problem on the road." Later that night, I wrote a short story in my notebook about this day. I used all the new words I learned: flat tire, spare, wrench, jack, nuts, car, tools, trunk, and even tighten. Then I searched for pictures online of car parts and wrote their names. It helped me remember the words better. I was enjoying learning English. The next day at work, I told my friends the story. I said, "Do you know how to change a tire?" One of them said, "No." So I started teaching him the steps. I said, "First, stop the car in a safe place. Then, open the trunk, take out the tools, and use the jack to lift the car." I felt happy because I was using my English and helping others. The next weekend, I was driving to the grocery store when I saw a man on the side of the road. He had a flat tire. just like I did. He looked worried and didn't know what to do. I stopped my car and asked him, "Do you need help?" He said, "Yes, please. I don't know how to change the tire." I smiled and opened his trunk. I asked, "Do you have a spare tire and the right tools?" He nodded. I took out the jack, the wrench, and the nuts. I showed him how to loosen the nuts, place the jack under the car, lift it carefully, and remove the flat tire. Then we put the spare tire on and started to tighten the nuts one by one. He said, "Wow, how do you know all this?" I told him, "I learned it last week. I had a flat tire too, and someone helped me. Now it's my turn to help someone else." After we finished, he shook my hand and said, "Thank you. You saved my day." I felt proud and happy. I said, "Always keep a good spare tire and check your tools before long trips." When I got home, I told my family the story. My dad said, "You're becoming very responsible. I'm proud of you." My mom smiled and said, "Next time we have car trouble, we'll call you." That night, I looked at the list of vocabulary words I had practiced: flat tire, spare tire, wrench, jack, nuts, trunk, car, tools, tighten, loosen. I had used every word in a real situation. This small problem taught me something big. I learned how to fix a car problem, help someone in need, and practice my English at the same time. That's why I love learning from real-life stories. And now, I always make sure my spare tire is ready, my tools are in the trunk, and my English notebook is in my backpack, ready for the next adventure. As I stood up and wiped the sweat from my forehead, a car pulled over near me. The window rolled down, and a man in his 30s smiled at me. "Hey there, do you need help with the flat tire?" he asked. I was a bit surprised, but also relieved. "Yes, I'm almost done, but I'm not sure if I tightened the lug nuts enough." He stepped out of his car. He was wearing jeans, a white t-shirt, and sunglasses. "I used to work at a tire shop," he said confidently. "Mind if I take a look?" "Please do," I replied. He knelt beside the tire and inspected the lug nuts. "You did a pretty good job," he said, "but let me just tighten them a bit more." He grabbed the wrench and gave each nut a firm twist. Then he checked the jack, the spare tire, and even made sure the flat tire was stored properly in my trunk. "Thanks a lot," I said. "You really helped." "No problem," he smiled. "Always good to help someone on the road." We talked for a few minutes. His name was Faisal. He worked nearby and saw me while driving home from work. I was thankful for his kindness and knowledge. Before he left, he said, "Next time, check your tires regularly, especially the air pressure. That helps avoid these problems." "Good advice," I nodded. "I'll remember that." I got back in the car, started the engine, and slowly drove away. The spare tire felt different, but it worked. I kept thinking about how things could have gone worse, but because I stayed calm and got some help, everything turned out fine. That day, I didn't just fix a flat tire. I also learned about tools, safety, and even about people. Sometimes help comes when you least expect it, from someone like Faisal, who just stopped to help a stranger on the road.